Hi guys, I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge WOODSCRAFT. Okay, the Baco saw. This has become the saw just about of all the bushcrafters. It's a good, solid, rugged, reliable saw, and it cuts really, really well on many different things. And if you're having to cut a bunch of small stuff fairly quickly, this is the way to go. Very aggressive, cuts wood very well, nice and clean. Folds up compact. The next size up you get though is to the big old bow saw. And a lot of people carry the folding bow saw, and those are good for processing firewood, making shelters, and etc. But to me, there needs to be an in-between. I have a very small saw, very precision, that's on my Swiss Army knife, that I do for very precision cuts. I use the Baco for my general bushcraft type woodscraft camp duties. But what if I want something between it, but not quite as big as a bow saw? I want to get out here like we've talked about doing dingle sticks. I want to build things in camp. I want to make stools. I want to whatever. I don't want that big saw. It really would be too awkward for the things I'm trying to build. And the Baco ain't quite big enough. What do I need? Well, there is an in-between, at least for me, and I wanted to share it with you. It's this. Now what this is a Japanese saw. It's a very thin blade, a handle, and the handle has a push button on it. You slide the blade in, and it locks rock solid in place. Now these saws have a coarse and a fine tooth cut on it, and this cuts on the pull stroke rather than the push stroke like we're used to, which can be a distinct advantage in the field. Because with this, when I want to cut a very precision cut, let's say I've got a 6-inch diameter piece of log about that big, and I want to cut precisely halfway down and halfway in. I don't want to try to split it, I want to cut it. This would be the better choice. And it's also very light. This thing probably doesn't weigh a pound. It also takes apart very easily and can easily be slid into some sort of sleeve made out of cardboard or whatever, slide in the back of the pack and be safe to carry. At the same time, it gives me a lot of ability to cut in the field. Lock solid. Now, with it, since this handle is long, I lay it along the length of my forearm, and I take my finger like this, and I lock it over this section and put my thumb on the other side and kind of pinch together. Okay? Now I'm going to take it and grab, and on our American saws you push forward. On theirs, this is backwards. To push, you're making that thin blade do that. But pull, it will always pull straight. So you just pull, coast back, pull, coast back, pull, coast back, just like that. No effort, really, because I'm using my back muscles to pull it rather than having to push it. And it makes a very clean cut that way. So by the pull stroke, I've got more control over it, less effort. Instead of pushing it, where I'm using my chest muscles trying to push it, I'm using my entire back muscles to pull it. I don't fatigue nearly as fast. This was created by the Japanese, as I understand it, to be used in cabinetry making and a lot of their precision stuff. Many of their traditional furniture pieces and buildings don't even have a single nail in it. It's all dove and tongue and dove joints and things like that all precision slide together. And this type of saw was used for that type of work. I picked this up 5 or 6 years ago and used it for very flush cutting some wooden dowels in a box I was building at the time, which it did a real good job. But it's become the next step up from the Baco for me in the field, where I'm coming out here to do stuff. I'm actually trying to make some stuff out here, and I want something a little more than the Baco, but a little less than a big old bow saw. Bow saw is not that controllable to me. It's a little too big and unwieldy when I'm trying to work on something that's just 6 inches in diameter and just trying to precision cut down through it. That's where this comes in. Light, handy, and quick. And I just take it and I've got a cardboard and duct tape sheath that I slide it down into like that and set it in a pack. Hope this gives you some ideas, guys. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge WOODSCRAFT, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.